Everybody, the coaches, Cliff talks about your intelligence, and I'm just wondering kind of where you kind of put that in terms of your strengths. Do you like having that being considered one of your strengths, or as a football player, you wish somebody's talking about something else?
Anytime somebody gives you a compliment like that, I think it's good, especially in this defense. There's a lot to it, so you have to be smart to play in it, in my opinion, from what I've been for as far as I've been around. So I think that's a compliment, yeah.
PJ was saying that his defense is pretty similar to Zimmer's in Minnesota. So how's that adjustment been for you?
Yeah, that's one of the good things. A lot of the concepts are the same. And so, I played in it a little bit in Cincinnati too. My first couple of years, we ran a lot of the same stuff. So the transition's been pretty smooth.
You come into a situation where those of us out here talk about the last 2 first-round picks and Isaiah and Zaven and what are they going to do and everything, and you kind of got thrown into that mix. I'm just wondering, from an outside perspective, what do you see from those 2 guys, and is it important for you to kind of help bring them along, being the veteran?
Yeah, they're obviously very talented. Isaiah's, probably one of the best athletes in the NFL, and Zaven's as big and fast as any guy you're going to see on the field. So they're obviously very talented young players who they're very intelligent. Isaiah he knows the defense in and out. He can play any position on the field probably. And same thing with Zaven. From what I've seen from him this year, he's just, he's been on top of it. And from what I've heard from last year, he's just, leaps and bounds ahead of where he was last year. So.
When you signed, did you get the sense that you were going to be part of the package with them on the field? Like, did you know you were going to possibly be starting and that kind of stuff?
That's just kind of what this time's for. Training camp, you're building your roster, you're building your depth and at every position. So it's just all about performing right now.
Who helped you get acclimated in a very tough position?
Sorry, what was that?
Who helped you acclimate to playing that position, which can be challenging?
Yeah. You talking about, like, since I've been here?
No, it was when you started your career.
Oh, when I started my career? Oh, yeah. Vontez Burfict. Yeah, he was one of the best football players I've ever been around. Yeah, very intelligent, very smart guy, and he taught me a lot about how to play football in the game. So.
High energy guy.
Yeah, I had a great group in Cincinnati. Vinny Ray. I was with a very veteran group. Carlos Dansby, Ray Malaluga. So I had a lot of veteran help there.
What do you like to, weight-wise, what do you like to play at?
Right now, around 225 to 230, kind of anywhere in that range. A little bit lighter than what I used to be.
Is that because you feel better doing that, or because they wanted you to be a little bit lighter?
I just think just the way the game has kind of evolved since I first got in the NFL. You don't see very many teams with fullbacks. You don't see a lot of downhill runs anymore. It's kind of a passing league now. So you got to be able to run sideline to sideline and cover.
At what point was bull riding no longer an
I was pretty young. I don't even remember what age, but we were pretty young, so it's been a while.
Is there anything that you could take from those days, that can apply to what you do now?
Just toughness. You got to be tough. You get banged up and hurt, but just, yeah.
Bull or you?
Yeah, me. Yeah.
Do you have any good Carlos Dansby stories you can tell us?
Yeah, he would sit in the locker room, and when we would lift, he was, I don't even remember what year it was. He had to have been year 13, 14, maybe 15, and he wouldn't lift. He would sit in his locker, and he would put a stim machine on his muscles to activate his muscles. And I was like, a young player, I was like, what the heck? And he's like, yeah, I just try to be limber, and that's what he did every day. So, yeah.
These players would say that they wish they knew then what they know now.
Yeah.
They get experience. Do you feel the same way? Like now that you're here, you wish you would have known that stuff back then. How much have you gleaned over the years playing?
Yeah, it's just, yeah, absolutely. When you're a young player, you kind of come into the league and everything's new. You're learning concepts, and you don't really understand football like you think you do when you first get here. And then you kind of learn and you just kind of adapt to it. So. Mm-hmm.
What's fun about Vance's defense?
All the different structures you get to play in. He moves people around. From what I see in training camp, he likes to bring pressure. So everybody. It's just the scheme is there's a lot to it, which is great because offenses, are guessing. So.